What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rest Hole Podcast. This is weekly episode number 46. Brought to you, as always, by your boys Tanner, Fred, and me, Zach Foreman. Tanner, go ahead and say what's up to the people.
Swiftly approaching a year.
Swiftly. 52 weeks.
Very soon. Money in the Bank to Money in the Bank.
Coming in.
1 year anniversary.
Hot.
We should do something fun.
We should.
I don't know what, but we'll think we got time.
We should get cashed in on.
Yeah, we'll do that.
One of us will no longer be a podcast.
Yeah, well, we should try to do something fun. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. If you have ideas, let us know. But
yeah.
We'll do something.
Mm-hmm. So.
Outside the ring, the brass ring. The Sasha and Naomi story continues.
The plot thickens.
Yeah. It seems like it's weird because like WWE has a lot to say.
I feel like this is very real at this point.
It's weird because Sasha and Naomi have been so quiet. That's what's weird.
The thing is, what are they going to say?
But at least, like, you would expect, like, at least a just defend yourself kind of thing. Even if it's just, like, even if it's not, like, this is what really happened, but just, like, I would expect something like the people who know me know what I'm about kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we got nothing.
And WWE is pulling no punches.
None.
They are dragging them on live
Which is
programming.
especially why it's just a little weird that they're being dragged as bad as they are and have said nothing.
Saying anything. Obviously, we all, I mean, if you're watching this, you're a fan of wrestling, so we all kind of read the same dirt sheets and all that. But it's like,
it seems it's real.
Yeah, and people are saying that WWE now is going to freeze their contracts because some paragraph or section in that contract allows them to freeze your contract if you refuse to work. Yeah. So if you're not showing up to work, you're healthy and can go, they have that option. And that's like, apparently, and again, this is all speculation. I don't have the contract in front of me, but apparently Naomi was only like 2 months out.
Very close. Apparently it was in the midst of a negotiation to extend.
Yeah.
And Sasha isn't far behind either. She was like 5 or 6 months.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, I don't necessarily agree with how things get handled, but if you're unhappy, just ride it out.
Yeah, just ride it out.
Guess what? AEW's taking both of you.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like, and now you're risking not being able to work.
Yeah.
And maybe my tunes changed a little bit from last week, right? Where I'm like, this is ridiculous. Show up to work, do your job. I still think that, do your job. But like, now I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you're so close to the end. If you're really this unhappy,
just ride it out. You're almost done. Yeah. Ride it out. And you couldn't have been that unhappy if you were in the middle of a contract negotiation. Like, you couldn't have been that unhappy. It couldn't have been like people who were like, I'm good. Yeah. Like, you're at least having the conversation.
Yeah, like what? Adam Cole or whatever.
Adam Cole talked to them
and then just said thanks but no thanks and wrote it out.
Yeah. But there have been plenty of people who were just like, you know what? Thanks, but I'm okay.
Yeah. I mean,
like from the beginning. Moxley, Malcolm Bivens just did it. He's like, thanks, but I'm good.
Thanks, yeah.
I don't know. Weird. It's just a lot of weird things.
And, I mean, wherever you rank Sasha, right? Like, she's clearly a top 10 woman on the roster. Of course. Likely top 5. So, like, wherever you rank her, like, it's just a tough situation to put yourself in. You're a prospect. Like, people will sign you. Yeah, 100%. Like, and Naomi's a gifted athlete, underutilized, misused, whatever you want to say. That's fine. But Sasha's a real draw. Yeah. So, like, if you're not going to be able to work and now they're freezing your contract, you're not getting paid.
Here's the thing, and I saw a lot of people say this, that if it were to happen where she would get fired or whatever, Sasha probably wouldn't go to AEW, but would probably try to pursue Hollywood again. Which is fine. Yeah. And you can do that while you're on contract, I think. I don't know exactly how that works. But the more I think about this and read into this is Naomi's really drawing the short straw here. Yeah. On a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean,
because say what you will, you're right, AEW would sign her.
Yeah.
Now you're not with your husband.
Yeah.
Now you guys are away 5 days a week, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And I gotta imagine Jimmy in this situation is unhappy on both sides.
It has to be unhappy on both sides.
It's got to be ruining the relationship with WWE a little bit.
It's tough. It's tough because he's a made man in WWE. Like the Usos are.
Usos are made men. Yeah. That's it. You look however you cut it, they're protected, safe. They're safe. They're the
even when they weren't part of the Bloodline, they're still safe. Yeah. They're still the best tag team, probably going right now.
Yeah.
So it's very weird that he's in this middle ground where he's obviously going to be unhappy with WWE.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you got to be a little bit like rational. Like, even if you're unhappy, just like we said, just ride it out.
My only like counterpoint to that is like she had to have told them. There's no way you.
Yeah. Okay, there was a lot of reports coming out because originally people were like mad. It's like, oh, you know, don't leave during the show, this, that, and the other thing.
And
now they're saying it was way before the match sheet was even printed.
Yeah.
So if that's the case,
putting WWE in a bad light.
That's very bad on WWE because you know what? Still, maybe people have walked out before.
Yeah.
And if it's true, and you know we'll probably never know.
Yeah. No, of course not.
If it is true they left before the match sheet, I'm putting a lot more on WWE.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it's then okay, we're unhappy, we're not going to wrestle tonight. That's fine.
And then you work them out for next week.
But here's the thing: why are you advertising that match then?
Yeah, because you knew.
Because now you're just purposely setting the coffin up to drop them right in.
Yeah. So your intention was to bury Sasha and Naomi, which is
very malicious.
Yeah. Because like we said last week, which get a little blowback, but Sasha's done this before.
Yeah.
So like when you're doing this, you're painting her in a bad light, and people are like, well.
And I think a lot of our problems from last week was this was went about the wrong way.
Yeah.
Not that they walked out, but how you did it.
Yeah.
But if the case is where they allegedly did it in these
changes
everything.
Because then you were like, no, we're not doing that. And then you elected to move forward with it knowing we weren't doing it just to do this.
Just to do this to us.
And
then
it's terrible.
That's horrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that's really bad then.
And then, maybe that's why they haven't said anything. Because they just don't, they're like, this is how you guys treat us? Like, whatever.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just like they know they did it the right way, so they kind of can control the narrative when they want to.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just like, let's see how far they're willing to dig this hole. And then be like, by the way, here's what really happened.
Yeah. And this could, and this is me just being like optimistic, right? This could be one of the greatest works
of all time. It could be.
If Sasha and Naomi like came out and just ripped, like pipe bombed WWE after this, it would be like,
okay, nice.
Yeah. You got us.
It's weird though, because I've been going back and forth. Is this real? Is this not? Is this real? Is this not? What really I think sealed the deal for real on me was this Monday on Raw. Corey Graves mentioned it again during a match that had nothing to do with the tag division. And he was also, you could see, he was, or at least here, he was like very, like visibly uncomfortable saying it. Like he didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
But it's so, unless Corey Graves is the best actor on TV, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
It seems real.
Which, how unfair is it
to put him in that position
to make him do that?
Yeah, because he's probably friends with them. Yeah. He's probably very good friends with them.
And like he gets dragged for everything. Corey Graves says something wrong, and he gets dragged for it all the time.
Especially that he's like married to another superstar. Like he definitely is friends with them.
Yeah,
like
you gotta imagine.
Yeah,
right?
you gotta think that there's at least some kind of friendship there.
And then to set him up to say that, just because the internet's gonna
latch onto it. Yeah.
If it's Corey Graves versus Sasha Banks, I'm telling you where the internet's going. Yeah. Right? It's Sasha 10 out of 10 times. So it's a tough thing to do.
Yeah. Something like that, too. That's just straight in the earpiece. Hey, say this word for word. Yeah. That's not like...
That's Vince reading it to you.
Yeah. This is...
Repeat after
read this. Yeah. Here we go. So, I don't know. We'll see. The story will continue to unfold, but...
I mean, and really, despite, I guess, how maybe last week's episode came across, like, I want Sasha and Naomi in WWE.
100%. Like, I don't want them to leave.
Yeah, my thing isn't leave and go be elsewhere. Like, I'm a WWE fan. I watch WWE. I want WWE to have the best talent. Yeah. And you two are two of the better women's talent. Yeah. So, like, I want you here, but at the same time, as a company perspective, you can't have that. You can't have, like...
what we thought happened. Yeah. So, I don't know. The story continues to change. It will continue to change every week until something happens. But apparently, it's not...
three
it's
sides
not
to
moving
every
in
story.
There's
their
one side, their side,
WWE
the truth.
Side, and the truth. So like,
but apparently there hasn't been a whole lot of positive direction moving between either side.
I mean, they're threatening to freeze a contract.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't know. It could be the greatest work of all time.
Exactly, could be.
It's not, but it could be.
Because if it's a work, I could see them just like coming back on like maybe SmackDown of this week, like. Had they not done the thing on Raw. Yeah. Now with the thing on Raw, I'm like...
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. Yeah. I saw a very good meme, just to maybe end this on a little bit of a lighthearted note. It was it was the bracket for the women's tag tournament, and it was just two teams, and then it's just the champion. Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do with that, but we'll see.
Do you see the the other one, the generic creator wrestler, like
Oh,
Grayscale.
the vacant underscore
Vacant
WWE.
champion.
That was a good one too. Yeah, first time women's tag champion. Good for him. Good for them.
It's funny, man.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get past that. Hopefully we get some sort of resolution.
Something. Yeah.
Maybe not this week, but hopefully in the coming weeks.
Yeah, something.
SummerSlam's coming up, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the next big event.
Yep.
You kind of want Sasha Banks.
You would like to have her there.
You would like to have her.
Having Asuka back helps. Bayley should be back, hopefully.
And maybe I'm looking too deep into this. Bayley can't be too happy her best friend is getting
dragged through the
like
mud.
this.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. But
more outside the ring, staying on the topic of women, I saw Nia Jax do a little Q&A on Instagram. Doesn't acknowledge the tribal chief. She said no, straight up.
Well, do you know what their beef is from?
Yeah, the Money in the Bank spot, or not the Money in the Bank spot, the table spot.
The table spot, yes.
So I remember
real quick, for those who don't know, Nia Jax was doing that table spot where she's putting Lana through the table every week. And then there's a pay-per-view or something, and she was going to do it again, and Roman's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm doing a table spot. Can't have two in the card. So a lot of animosity there. But, I mean, let's be realistic here for a second. What table spot are we going to use?
You want to see Roman put Drew through a table.
Yeah. Or do you want to put Nia Jax put Lana through a table again?
Where nobody really cares.
Yeah.
But that's not the point.
Anyway.
But then, staying in dirt sheet, staying in the rumor mill, drudging up some drama, they said, do you have a good relationship with Becky Lynch? And she said, Becky doesn't have a good relationship with anybody. And that's kind of crazy to me. You're like this top woman on division, and you're just like unliked.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I believe that.
And that's something I feel like, what do I know? Just watching TV.
Yeah.
I just feel like that would be like Charlotte.
Yeah.
Which for no reason other than the character of Charlotte.
But I think it's also fair to assume that being Charlotte Flair in the WWE, there's probably some ego behind that.
Right. Which is why I'm saying that.
Yeah, of course. But even just as the person.
Yeah.
But I think we said this a lot, and we talked about it, I think, with like the Evil series, and they talk about it on there a bunch. Like, if you're going to be that character, you have to have, especially if you're going to be good at that character, it has to be in you somewhere. Yeah. You have to blur the line a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's not super surprising to me.
No, it's just funny like that she would go out of her way to like.
But at the same time, like she's been saying since she got released.
Yeah, not
just trying to
WWE,
anything she could stay relevant with. But I don't know. Could be real. At the end of the day, though, who cares?
That's the thing. I don't care.
Yeah.
But like, show me good work product, whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
whatever.
Good. I don't care. I don't care about your backstage.
Whatever you guys do in your personal life.
I'm sure it's better for you guys if you all get along.
Yeah, but at the same time, there have been plenty of times where people got along, still put on sick matches.
Yeah.
So who cares?
Yeah. Moving on.
AEW pay-per-view this weekend, Saturday. I think it's this weekend. I doubt they would go against NXT, but I think it's this weekend.
Yeah.
All or Nothing, I believe it is. I don't know.
Dude, I'm so out of the loop on AEW.
I know.
I've had a lot of other
believe we have MJF and Wardlow finally.
The payoff match.
The payoff match. I know we have CM Punk and Hangman for the title.
Oh yeah, I did know this was coming up because a lot of people think that they're gonna
drop the belt.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
No.
I understand because I think Hangman's very good. I like Hangman actually.
But by all accounts, he's been having a
not so
less
stellar
than stellar.
run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can acknowledge that it hasn't been great.
Yeah.
Especially compared to Mox right before him, or Kenny right before him, and Mox before that.
His in-ring ability is right there with them, but for some reason it's just not.
I don't think it's necessarily his fault, but like people know Jericho. Yeah. People knew Mox. People knew Kenny.
Yeah.
This is not that he's a nobody.
No.
But before AEW, he was kind of a nobody.
Yeah, but you're hardcore AEW fans.
But that's it.
I know. But
like the other three guys were getting outside hardcore fan attention.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, it's Kenny Omega. We know this guy. It was Dean Ambrose. We know this guy. So like we'll tune in for him at least. Yeah. Where you're not getting that with someone like Hangman. Where you might with CM Punk.
You might. It's tough though because they know CM Punk's on TV too, and he's just I don't know. But wrestling as a whole is not crushing views, so like that's such a bad metric now.
Yeah, it's tough. Views is tough because a lot of people watch on like DVR, and a lot of people watch on Hulu, and a lot of people watch on the network or Peacock or whatever it is.
And how many people do you know that are real Nielsen families or whatever it is?
Like, no one is. So I don't know. It's interesting, but
I'm sure the pay-per-view will be great.
I'm sure it'll be good.
They tend to deliver.
Yeah, they do okay.
Their pay-per-views.
Yeah.
The match is always.
I don't know what else is on the card.
No, me neither.
I would assume the final of like the Owen Hart thing is on there.
Didn't they have a women's tournament going too or something?
Yeah, or something.
We're not the best AEW fans.
I try to pay attention.
Yeah, we try to watch just to bring you guys some outside WWE news, but
especially like big stuff like
a pay-per-view. But
sorry,
I got nothing for this one. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't really know. I'll pay attention to the results.
Yeah, had you not reminded me about CM Punk, I would have.
We'll talk briefly about it at the beginning of next week.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. If there's a title change,
we'll talk about it. Yeah, especially if CM Punk wins the belt, that'd be something to talk about.
And I can't wait to see the MJF stuff because I don't know how much of what MJF does is a work because he's such a good heel.
I think he's always in character.
That's what I'm thinking because he talks
always
about
in character.
going to WWE a lot.
A lot, but he's always in character.
That's what I'm saying, and how he's unhappy with the contract all the time. But he's MJF. That's what he does.
Yeah. So it's really hard to tell what he's actually mad about.
So I don't know in interviews when he's like, no, I do want to go there. I do want to do this. I do want to work with WWE. Or is he just saying that because his character in AEW is to shit on AEW?
I don't know. But at the same time, it could be both.
Yeah.
It also could be a third thing where it's maybe he doesn't want to go to WWE, but I think he's also not an idiot. He also understands they'll throw a bag at him. Yeah. So if he's like, oh yeah, I want to go to WWE, I want to go to WWE, WWE's going to give him a big contract when it comes.
Because he's
young. Even if he wants to stay, he's going to make AEW pay him a lot more money.
It's going to be big leverage.
That's the thing. Absolutely. He's going to have so much leverage when his contract ends. So maybe this is just a long game. Yeah. But that's the thing with him that I think is so good, is that you never know.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we were just saying, how it blurs the line of what's a good character. His character is one of the best characters in recent memory, both all brands, all wrestling. Yeah. Because I literally cannot tell when this guy is doing a bit or when he's being serious.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
One of the few people who are like that still. Yeah. So it's really good.
The Miz is like that.
Yeah.
Which is funny because MJF is just the new Miz.
Very similar to the Miz.
He's going to be just I would love for him to go to WWE to just watch these guys talk. Yeah. Just go at it.
100%.
So.
And I think you got to give him a little bit of wiggle room with the rating.
That's what I said too. So he runs the risk of coming to WWE and being
tuned
for
down.
Lack of a better phrase, domesticated, right? People like MJF because he's just talking. He's just letting it fly. And if you let him come in and let it fly on the big stage, and then let the Miz or somebody else who cuts good promos come out and let it fly with them, you're gonna have some real good TV.
Yeah. MJF would have done real well in ECW.
Oh, yeah.
He would have done really well. Yeah. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
For sure.
But other than that, outside the ring.
Last thing, actually, I read it today. So, Renee
Young.
Yes.
Paquette.
Yeah. She said Raw used to go on with nothing written.
I believe that.
She was saying they used to go on live and nobody knew what would happen and they would just start putting it together as a show.
I would 100% believe that.
It would be full rewritten.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, well, we've heard from other people that
but just,
they've seen the thing get ripped up 15 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, just restart it.
Just do it again.
But that goes even more to the, not that it necessarily happened on this day, but the Sasha and Naomi thing.
Yeah.
If they're rewriting the show the day of.
Yeah.
Or 15 minutes before, they're not going to be there.
You know they're not there.
You decide to.
Yeah,
so
that's tough.
It is tough. But that was just wrapping it up. I thought that was a funny thing.
Yeah,
a little tidbit of information. A little, how the sausage is made on why Raw is so bad.
There you go. Raw's been pretty good lately, though, overall. But anyway.
Stacked roster right now.
Very good roster.
Stacked roster.
Bringing it back to WWE.
The brand split is dead. Oh. We'll do this first. Yeah.
You're new. Undisputed.
Yeah.
Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
We the ones.
Mm-hmm.
The Usos.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
Never in doubt.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Never in doubt.
Interesting.
Nope, not once.
You're lying.
Yeah, I'm lying. No, I'm definitely lying. I definitely did not think it was going to happen on a SmackDown.
No shot. So, I thought for sure this match was not going to end real.
So the fact that Roman did what he did, interfering, grabbing the leg, whatever it was, and not getting caught,
yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect way to win.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, RK Bro, strong. Usos put on a phenomenal match without Roman, but strong. But it's just like, I thought Roman would get caught, and then it's going to Hell in a Cell inside a Hell in a Cell.
That would have been awesome.
I mean, there's not to say if that still can happen.
No.
Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know if this is real or not, but they're doing a Randy injury angle.
Yeah.
So I don't know if his back actually is just bothering him and he wants some time.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like RK Bro is going to be done for a while.
Yeah. Well, because they said Riddle got hurt too.
Riddle got hurt on Raw, but not like hurt.
Serious,
I don't think. I think he just like bruised up his ribs a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think Riddle will face Roman at Hell in a Cell. That's what it appears to be moving towards.
They are going to tear the house.
They're going to have a sick match.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be in the cell, but still be sick.
I don't, and maybe now because we've been spoiled the last like 3 or 4 years with how good the women have been in Hell in a Cell. I don't want 2 men's singles matches in the Hell in a Cell.
Are Becky and them in Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, Becky, Bianca.
They're in Hell in a Cell?
I think so. Or maybe they didn't announce
I don't
that
think
yet.
so.
Yeah. Well, Ronda's not going to be in it.
Ronda doesn't even have an opponent yet.
Yeah, so.
But
with that said, I want to see a women's match in there, and then we already have Seth and Cody.
Yeah.
And despite how good Riddle and Roman might be, if that's the angle they go with, it's not going to be Seth and Cody.
No, it's not. I actually don't want a women's Hell in a Cell this year. Because I think Seth and Cody should be the Hell in a Cell this year. Because it'll be so good.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to get any complaints from me if that headlines the show.
Yeah.
Right? No complaints.
Yeah.
But if you told me Bianca, Becky, and Asuka are going to go at it in Hell in a Cell, I'm not telling you I don't want to see it.
No, of course I want to see it, 100%. But like, I'm not trying to compare these 2 matches in terms of how good they are or will be. But think about this. Yeah. Imagine if it was like Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha in Hell in a Cell the same night Taker and Triple H were in Hell in a Cell. I know that match is an unfair comparison, but
you're taking the best Hell in a Cell.
But you know what I mean? Like, no matter how good those women will be or are, it's not going to stand up against that match.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's the same caliber that this match will be that good. It could be, but I doubt it. Mm-hmm. But that is going to be the same kind of comparison where there's not going to be able to keep up with them.
Yeah, they're in a tough place when you look at it from that angle because Cody and Seth are probably...
They're going to give you match of the year.
They're top 5 performers in the company.
Yeah.
Each.
I think so.
So when they go at it in there, they're going to go at it.
Yeah. That match is going to be like 40 minutes.
We saw how good their first 2 matches were.
Yeah.
And
they've only been better.
Yeah.
So.
And despite this being the trilogy where Seth's going to lose all 3.
Yes. For no reason.
They're still going to destroy the match. Like,
yeah,
it's going to
100%.
be incredible.
Yeah.
So if that's the way you look at it, like, well, they got to compare at least. They got to be good, both good. You're right. You can't have another one, no matter who it is.
No matter what.
No matter who.
It could be 2 other guys. Like,
if
it
it's
could be
Roman
anything.
Riddle,
It can't happen.
No.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. But Sami Zayn has been killing.
Sami Zayn being part of the Bloodline is just the funniest thing in the world to me.
Yeah.
And there's not another character on the roster that could pull it off except Sami.
Yeah, it's just Sami.
Like, he's so good.
Yeah.
Just so funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't sing praise about it enough. And like this goes back to like he should have left. He could have been doing this thing. But like he had a massive match. Like despite what you might think of it at Mania, and he's now in the main event. Mm-hmm. And he's been on TV every single week for the better part of a year.
Yeah. And if you hear him talk about, and it could just be him just being a company guy, but if you hear him talk about his Mania match, he's like, I look at it as a privilege.
Yeah.
Because it's not just like, they could have gotten anyone. And they could have gotten a lot of superstars to handle that match for just the match.
Yeah.
But there's not many people that could have came to hold that story for that long.
Yeah. Sammy literally carried.
He takes a lot of pride in that.
Yeah.
Like he does. So.
That's professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Right. So you look at AEW, it doesn't really have the comedy gimmicks, and that's not a slight at them.
No, that's just what
they
perform
perform good matches. That's what they do. WWE, sports entertainment, right? Mm-hmm. So that aspect of it, to be able to handle and carry and keep me and you and the majority of viewers entertained in a feud that has zero meaning.
Yeah, it's zero.
And to put on at least a watchable, enjoyable.
It was fun.
Yeah,
it was very fun.
Enjoyable comedy match at Mania. It's like that's great.
That's one of those things where it's like, at its core, like professional wrestling is very silly.
Yeah, like think about it.
Yeah,
really.
Like it's very silly. So like to be able to kind of play off of that
and not take yourself so serious
is very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and now he's getting paid off with it. He's with the Bloodline.
Yeah.
And, you know, despite he's like the comedy gimmick to get to the Bloodline, he goes out and speaks for them. They don't acknowledge him at all. He gets his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine.
Yeah, it's
that's
cool.
Fine.
It's
You're
good.
with the Bloodline.
It's good. You're with the Bloodline. Yeah.
So whatever.
Nothing else is super exciting on SmackDown.
No, that was what people wanted on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And they delivered.
Yeah.
That's it.
Pat McAfee calling what's their name? Like what's the Sheamus faction called?
Oh man.
Something. He keeps
The
calling them
Holy
Fight
Trinity
Club.
or
No,
something?
it's not even close to that.
No, I don't
not
know,
even
dude.
like the Brawlers something like that.
Dude, I forget what Sheamus posted. That might be
They're,
why I'm all
they're like the
messed up.
Brawlers something.
He put something up on social media that was like the Trinity, and I was like, that doesn't fit.
That's
that
not their
doesn't
name.
make sense.
It's like the Brawlers something. I'm gonna look it up briefly, but Pat McAfee keeps calling them Fight Night, which is just such a better one.
Yeah.
Or like Fight Club, which is so much better. But that's funny.
I don't get why they're still
The
feuding.
Brawling Brutes.
Yep, that's it.
That is what it is.
I don't get why they're still feuding.
Because they have nothing else for any of them.
Yeah.
There's no factions. There's no one, and you can't send them to the Bloodline.
Feed them to Bloodline. No, I'm just over it.
Yeah.
Like, and despite Pete Dunne, Butch being good.
Yeah, he's very good.
Despite Xavier Woods being good. Despite Ridge Holland being okay. Yeah. Despite Sheamus being good. Yeah. Despite Kofi being good.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see it anymore.
I've seen it 1,000 times.
I've seen it every week.
I've seen every combination twice. I'm good.
I mean, this has got to be like 6 weeks.
It's been longer than that.
Yeah.
It was Mania. Remember? They got moved off WrestleMania Night 1. Yeah. It's been since before Mania.
It's been like
10 weeks. It's been a very long the problem is too, with no progression.
There's nowhere for this to go.
That's the issue. If you could have like 10 weeks feuds, that's fine. There's no progression.
They had what's his face Hyde for a week.
Yeah.
That was their progression. Yeah. Pete Dunne.
Yeah. I don't know. But
look, just move on.
Just move on.
Just do something else.
Just do like a final match and move on.
But now that Butch lost.
Now we're still going. Now we keep going.
Back.
Yep.
Raw.
Raw was pretty good.
WWE,
it was okay.
Monday,
it was okay. Bliss continues to pick up wins.
Yeah. So this is kind of what I was saying, that the brand split is dead. I was reading that they're going to have Cody and Seth on SmackDown.
This Friday?
Yep, this Friday. They're going to keep having the Bloodline on Raw. They're going to move Judgment Day, have Edge do promo on SmackDown. And I don't know if that's just because they realize, like, they got nothing going on for a lot of these feuds. So they need to, like, get people to watch, make people want to watch.
Yeah.
But they said the draft is coming up. I think this is okay. Just blur the lines for a little bit and then redraft.
Yeah.
Just redraft.
And draft better.
Yeah.
Is really the issue. Draft better.
Yeah.
Because this is bad.
Like,
this time.
Don't just take everybody from SmackDown and give us Drew McIntyre.
I think the problem was that SmackDown was too good.
Yeah.
And they flipped the problem.
They did exactly that. Yeah. They decided to just flip-flop it, give us Drew McIntyre, and that was it.
It was basically just like, oh, Roman beat all these people. We got to move him somewhere else.
Yeah.
But we didn't give them enough back to work with.
Yep.
So
100%.
This draft needs to include a bunch of NXT people. Mm-hmm. And I think they should go back to the old draft style where you're not redrafting the whole roster.
Yeah.
Where you have like the matches again. Like that was cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Where they do like the matches and then if you win the match, your team gets a pick kind of thing. But it's harder with just two brands, although they did do it. Like it was a little more interesting when they had ECW kind of scattered in there.
Yeah, but they've done successful drafts for as long as WWE's been around.
Forever.
Like for as long as Raw and SmackDown have existed.
But I think doing that is better than reorganizing the entire roster.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see what happens. Or honestly, I think you keep Roman as like a free agent.
I was kind of about to say that. Like, if you want to do something like that where you have the titles just floating around, you want Roman all over the place because he's the biggest draw in the business. Like, do that.
Yeah.
But get everyone else set on something. Yeah. And then when Roman's feuding with a SmackDown wrestler, he's on SmackDown. Yeah. And when he's feuding with a Raw wrestler, he's on Raw. Yeah. When he's in limbo, he's in limbo.
Yeah.
If the Usos are on Raw and he wants to go to Raw, fine, whatever. But like, let's just figure it out because SmackDown's tough.
SmackDown's really tough sometimes.
Whatever. Let's get back to Raw.
Yeah.
Get to it.
Omos and Bobby had a nice little segment. It was okay.
That needs to end.
Yeah, we're pushing it a little bit here.
Quick.
We're pushing it a little bit here.
Wrap it up.
Becky snuck her way in. like we said. We talked about it a little bit earlier.
Successful prediction.
Yeah.
They weren't going to have a women's title match without Becky.
No.
Yeah.
Cody beats Miz technically, but gets jumped.
Some vicious strap swings.
Yeah.
When Seth stole the belt from the Kid, that's
good. That's good.
Seth is good.
That's good.
Grabs the belt from the Kid, walks out, starts whipping Cody with it.
It's the fact that Seth didn't get an evil is really upsetting. Because his authority run could have been an episode by itself.
Yeah, I think they need to, when it's
we need
all
another
said and
season
done,
of
we
that.
need Seth to get his flowers. Really get him.
Yeah, but we'll see.
He's the most, I don't want to say underappreciated because everyone knows how good he is, and he does wrestle every week.
Yeah.
And he's always on TV.
But I know what you mean. He never gets his belts. He never gets his
payoffs, right?
Yeah.
He had good title runs.
Yeah.
Both of them. Or three? Whatever, not important.
He's been Universal once.
Yeah.
Or twice, in WWE twice?
Yeah.
I think so.
So he's had good runs, but it's just it's been 5 years, 7 years, something like that.
I think 5 years since he's held the WWE title.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Or even, no, longer than that.
And
it's been 5 years since he's held the world title.
And they have the story to have him be the guy that beats Roman.
And also, it's not just that he hasn't held the world title. I can't even tell you the last time he won a feud.
Yeah.
The Mysterios.
Yeah, he technically lost. Because...
Kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Mm-hmm. They got to pay him back. Mm-hmm. And, we've talked about this before. I think, 2 weeks ago we talked about it. That, he kind of is just the guy they need when they have something.
Yeah.
And he's just happened to fall into a lot of things consecutively.
Yeah.
We went from Edge to Roman now to Cody and just everything in between, Kevin Owens and all that stuff. So
he's just
it's a little unfortunate for him, but...
Yeah, and he's the right guy at the wrong time. Because you used him, and now you use him properly. I'm not going to say that you did anything wrong because there's no better wrestler to get people back in on Cody than Seth Rollins.
Exactly.
So it's
I don't know. But he's got
to
start winning.
I don't know what's next for him.
He's got to start winning.
I have to imagine he loses at Hell in a Cell.
He has to lose.
The trilogy.
Yeah, he's got to lose.
I got to imagine.
He has to.
So
which sucks, but he's got to lose. Yeah.
So I just don't know.
Yeah. That's really it from Raw. Raw wasn't very exciting.
That's Talking Seth Rollins again.
Yeah, Talking Seth. That's our new podcast.
Yeah, Talking
Seth.
That's
really it.
You know,
Raw's tough.
It's 3 hours of wrestling.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of wrestling.
It's an hour of wrestling and then commercials and promos.
It really is crazy. You probably get an hour and a half of live TV.
Yeah, it's not much.
Nuts.
It's not much. Yeah.
Nuts.
Record it, you're done in hour 20, hour 30. Yeah. That's if you watch everything.
Yeah, if you don't skip anything.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. They're not doing great, moving towards Hell in a Cell, to be honest.
The only thing that they've advanced is Cody and Seth.
Yeah, that's really it. And then I guess the women they have.
I was gonna say now we got Bianca, Asuka, and Becky,
Bianca, it's not. It doesn't even feel like a Bianca's in the feud.
No, this was we haven't had Bianca on a pay-per-view since Mania, so
we should do something
one
with
pay-per-view, but she hasn't even been on TV.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, but also it doesn't really make sense to me how Becky got this opportunity to be in the match. But hey, whatever, I'm not going to complain about Becky being in the match.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't make sense of things.
No, they just this is something that's happening. But
this just talking about it for a second, where Bianca hasn't been on TV, this is a good example of a big problem with WWE. This is how they make belts meaningless.
Literally meaningless.
Because Bianca wasn't even the focal point of the feud. The focal point of the feud is Asuka and Becky.
Yeah.
And that's been that way since Becky lost and came out and cut the promo and then Asuka returned.
Yeah.
So, not that Bianca's a bad champion, but she's being handled improperly.
It's very similar to Big E.
Yeah.
Where he was never the focal point of the feuds.
Right.
Yeah. It's always about somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. See what happens.
But that's just, and Ricochet.
Yeah. Is Ricochet still champion?
Yeah.
What the hell?
When Shinsuke was champion.
When's the last time he's been on TV? Seriously.
I think he cut a promo backstage with Drew Gulak to get beat up by Walter or Gunther. Which I'm guessing
Gunther's going to have to take the belt off him.
That's probably what they had that backstage promo for. It's I told you to step up to Gunther and you tried and then he killed you, so now I'm trying.
Yeah, he's gonna have to take that belt off him.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I like Ricochet a lot. I think he's very, very talented. I think he's actually insanely talented.
They get on these hot streaks with them too.
Yeah.
Where they'll use him, they'll let him win, he'll dominate.
And then just pull him off TV.
And then gets to the top of the mountain, done. Just pull the rug out on him.
Yeah.
So I don't
know. Sad. But I guess moving on to NXT, unless you have anything else from the main roster. No. NXT was okay this week. Yeah. I hate to say this, but it's a lot of women's matches, a lot of women's stuff, and that's not always bad.
Yeah.
This week it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
It's tough. Roxanne and Lash had an awful match.
Yep.
That lasted 3 minutes.
Mandy and
Indy had a
awful match
that lasted 3 minutes.
But
Tiffany Stratton had a good match.
Tiffany Stratton gets better every
single
time
week.
she wrestles.
Replacing the injured Nikita Lyons.
Yeah, which I don't know if
it can't be real.
Can't be real. They just probably realized that they screwed up.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, we should have her not be in this.
Yeah.
So they probably heard the pod.
Yeah, they were friends of the pod.
Yeah, big friends of the pod. WWE writers.
Farron is good.
Phelan.
She's good.
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
But back to Tiffany Stratton for a second. If she can just like dial in the character a little bit, make it a little bit better, and like it's hard to do, right? Because you're like, I'm a 22-year-old Barbie doll prince. Like
it kind of works though. No, at the end of the day, it's kind of good.
No, I'm not saying that the character is bad. I'm saying like, kind of like the whining and like and I get it. That's what it's supposed to be, but it's almost like.
I think I can verbalize your issue. It's a very good character. Now you just need to be able to translate it to professional wrestling.
Yeah, right.
That's what the issue is.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. How is this relevant for your character as a wrestler?
Right, because in ring she wrestles phenomenal.
She's extremely athletic.
Yeah. So like she'll touch all that up. Like the athleticism's all there. Right?
Yeah.
For a new wrestler, she's way ahead of the game.
Yeah, she's very good. Very good.
So like if she could just make the character fit that a little bit, which is like maybe you're rich and you're like acknowledging how elite you are as like an athlete.
Yeah,
like,
something like
that.
that.
So I'm super rich and I'm better than you. Instead of just being I'm super rich.
And that's all it takes is that tiny little small thing. And now we've translated this.
Yeah.
Other things in the women's division. The high schooler whose name once again eludes me.
Yeah.
Will be graduated and on NXT this Tuesday.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Quick turnaround.
Pretty good.
Alba Faya.
Yeah, who she beat?
I don't remember.
Oh, she beat Elektra.
Oh, right. Elektra Lopez. For some reason, they wrestled.
And Elektra's now kind of feuding with Cora Jade for reasons that elude all of us. But, I mean, they're both pretty good. I think Cora's very good. I think Elektra's pretty good. So, there's that.
It's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. More matches set for In Your House.
Yeah.
For the women's division. We got Mandy Rose taking on Wendy Chu.
I'm guessing
what will be a stinker.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is to just have Mandy out there, get the title done, because the championship match is on that too, right? The women's breakout tournament.
I would assume.
So that's probably what that is. That's probably what that's about.
Yeah. Wendy Chu isn't a bad wrestler. I actually think she's okay.
Yeah.
But your gimmick is not suited for long matches.
Your gimmick's not suited to be here long.
Yeah.
Is the problem.
Yeah.
That gimmick is going to be stale very quickly.
Very, very fast.
Being sleepy
isn't a gimmick.
Is not a gimmick.
Yeah.
Going to sleep is something
just something that I do.
Yeah. It's what people do.
Yeah. So it's
like funny
for a little bit and then it burns out fast. Short fuse.
She's
not winning.
What's extremely concerning is how you make that work in a real match.
No.
What are you going to do? Throw a pillow at
Here's the real problem, and I think this is still an issue that NXT is having a little bit. Mm-hmm. This is not a main roster gimmick.
No.
And everything you're doing on NXT should be, okay, can we translate this up?
Yeah.
And this will not be translated up.
Will not.
You will definitely be something else, and you'll be renamed for sure.
You'll be future.
If anything,
endeavor.
Yeah. So.
And that's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate because she is pretty talented. I think she's good. I think she's okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, if they couldn't get Dakota Kai, a gimmick that stuck and worked.
I think she was doing well too. I thought that kind of schizo gimmick was actually pretty good.
It's better than sleeping.
Better than sleeping for sure.
Braun Breaker, Joe Gacy, Duke Hudson.
I'm interested? Question mark.
Dude,
I think this is it for Braun.
You think he's losing and going
I think he's losing. I really do. But at the same time, this will also just be like, oh, Braun's just for Super Cena.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked at that either. So.
I don't know if I care.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
I told you, like, every week I just don't really care. I don't really
it is hard. It's hard to
Gacy.
care. Yeah,
the gimmick doesn't work for me. Like, winning the mental game and, like, doing, like, the getting you in shambles and distracting you, making you fight the match that isn't you, that's a tried and true gimmick. It works. Like, but it's just not working this time.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I was predisposed to not liking him, right? Like, when he did the thing with Harlan and all that, and, like, it's just not for me.
I definitely think he's better. This half of the feud has been better than the first half for sure.
Yeah.
But it's still just, I think it's just a tough buy. It's a tough buy.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it too, right? Like, I watched Braun Breaker wrestle Ciampa.
Yeah.
And wrestle
then
with
Ziggler.
Yeah, and crush those matches.
Yeah.
And now I'm watching him struggle. And this is not supposed to be how it is. This is the suspension of disbelief.
Yes,
the story's
exactly.
advanced. Like, you're supposed to go with the story. And maybe I'm just not doing that here, and that's unfair to both of them. But, like, I'm not even interested in Braun Breaker right now.
I'm not. I'd much rather look at the North American title.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm so much more interested in Carmelo and Trick
and
Solo
yeah.
and what's
Cameron
his
Grimes,
Cameron Grimes,
the champion.
Yeah. I almost said Carmelo Grimes. I was like, what? That's not right.
No.
But, like, I'm much more interested in that feud, and they're all unique gimmicks.
Yeah.
They're all very different.
I just had this random idea, and not that this ladder match was bad, but could you imagine if they had a NXT ladder match again, North American Championship, those three, not Trick, Wesley, Nathan Fraser? That'd be nuts.
They only do 5 for NXT.
They normally do 5.
Yeah.
That'd be insane.
Solo's the only guy that can hit you with big man spots, though, and I don't know if that's enough.
It's a good point, but I don't know.
But it would be sick. It would be fast paced, high
That'd
flying.
be nuts.
It would be crazy.
Yeah, it'd be insane.
And then Trick would be out there anyway, so then
Yeah. So you kind of have Trick doing stuff.
Yeah.
Katana Canizaro? Is that her name?
Yeah, it's Katana now.
Katana and Kaden Carter.
Yeah.
Are number 1 contenders for Toxic Attraction at In Your House.
I think that they might be moving Toxic Attraction.
No,
You
not
don't
yet.
think?
Not yet, because Mandy's not losing.
No, but I think you could get the process.
You think you started?
Yeah, because you don't have to have them all drop it at once at the same page.
That's true. That's a good point.
You
But is Katana and Kaden the ones?
I kind of think so.
I don't know who else.
That's the thing.
It was a genuine question. It
Yeah,
wasn't
like,
I don't think they should be. It was a question.
I don't know who else is the first problem. And second, not problem, this is not a problem, is they've been working for you for a long time.
And they've been doing pretty good tag
And the
stuff for a
fans
long
love
time.
them.
They do like them a lot.
They're the only real, besides Toxic Attraction, really, they're the only real tag team that has been a tag team.
For a very long time.
So, like, them winning is definitely not the worst
No,
thing for
not at
business.
all. Not at all.
I don't know how believable them winning long term is, though.
Yes.
So they would be like a transition champion.
I don't know to who, though.
Exactly.
The division's thinning in terms of tag teams.
Yeah. Because, and this is not a slight, but, like, Katana's 4'10".
She's tiny. She is tiny.
And maybe, like, 85
Yeah,
pounds.
maybe.
Like,
yeah. She's small. She's small.
A tiny girl.
Yeah.
So, like, even beating Toxic Attraction, where they're probably like 5'8", 5'9", like tall women, like,
it's a tough sell.
It's a tough sell.
Again, the suspension disbelief, but that's a tough sell long term.
I mean, Rey Mysterio beats Big Show once.
One time.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Once.
Yeah. That's wise.
I think if they could start pulling some of the women, especially from the breakout tournament, into tag teams and just introduce them. Just introduce new tag teams. And I think you'll kind of fill the division back up, and then we'll be in a fine spot.
Absolutely.
So they definitely have people coming through. It's not like they don't have the numbers to do it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, I guess.
I kind of think that's it.
Yeah.
Kind of wraps it up.
Yeah, it was a boring week, really.
Yeah. This is I mean, just as a general problem for WWE is they come out of a pay-per-view high, valley, go into a pay-per-view high. It's not the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of want to stay at a straight line.
Like, obviously the pay-per-views are going to be a little, they're going to peak a little bit, but you want
have this big
drop. You want like hills, not mountains and valleys. Yeah.
You're going to have maybe like slightly oscillating.
Yeah.
But like WWE has gotten into this habit of like first show after the pay-per-view, the other 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Last show before the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Go home shows. Yeah. They got to figure that out. But it's tough for us we try our best to keep it entertaining as much as we can.
Yeah.
But we'll have a double prediction episode next week.
Boom!
NXT and Hell in a Cell.
In your house.
So that'll be a good one. So that'll be pretty much the whole episode, unless some major happens.
Yeah, maybe we'll split it up for you. Let you guys...
Double dip the episodes?
Yeah, let you guys embrace the 20-minute segments. Make it a little easier to consume.
Or I could actually just do chapters this week.
Oh, yeah, we mark it out for you.
Yeah,
So you can
we'll figure it out. We'll get something for you.
We'll bring you something.
A little easier to digest.
Yeah, so you guys know where to stop. Yeah. But thanks for hanging out, as always.
Like and subscribe down below. Comment. Let us know your thoughts. What matches you're looking forward to for the next weekend. Instagram and Twitter at @Wrestle_pod. We are on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. Wherever you get content. We got to make a TikTok or something.
Got to do something. Get some reels out there.
Get some reels.
But
put me to like a table or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Cash in money.
Yeah, there you go. We got one right there. I don't know if that one's usable still, but SmackDown. So I don't know.
Thanks for hanging out. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like the video. Comment on the video. Subscribe to the YouTube. Wherever you get your podcasts. Just let us know what you like, what you want to hear.
What you don't like.
Yeah, if you got thoughts about...
We got a lot of what we don't like last week.
I mean, it's tough.
It's fair. It's
tough to bring you
the news. It's a divided
news,
situation. And
maybe
we were a little harsh last week.
Aggressive.
Maybe.
We dialed it back this week.
At the same time, we react to the information we're presented with, and when
we're
wrong, we'll
like
tell you.
Else.
Just like we did this week. If we're wrong, we'll let you know.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys.
Peace.